Hello again, let's do one more game here before it's time to go to the club. So this game is Abasov against Gukesh. And I was embarrassed because I was playing the European Club Cup, which Gukesh was playing, and like probably most players in this tournament, or at least half of them, was playing. And I lived at the same hotel as Abasov. And when I got there, I met Abasov and Rajabov in the elevator, and I was like looking at Rajabov, and he was like, "Oh, why are you looking at me?" So I had to say hi to Rajabov, but I didn't realize that next to him was Abasov, who. He hasn't played for so long, but I should, being a chess player, like you should kind of know everyone, like who they look like playing in the candidates tournament. So if Abasov is listening to this, so hello to you too. So Abasov is playing white against Gukesh. And Abasov, it was like a little bit of a surprise that he qualified. He qualified because he was lucky in the FIDE. I have covered that one also in the FIDE. What's called the FIDE World Cup, because he was, like for example, Gukesh was many strong players like Gukesh got on the same half and like same part of the tree as Magnus, and of course Magnus won that tournament. So and then he withdraw. So Abasov got fourth in that tournament, and he would, but he did win against some good players. I remember, like I don't exactly remember, but Abasov beat some good players there. But then he was a bit lucky that Magnus withdraw from the candidates, and he got the place there. Okay, so let's see here, and he did do bad in the tournament. So he was simply too bad actually to have any good results in the candidates tournaments. Okay, so they are playing the Nimsu Indian, and they're playing with Queen C2, G3. I think this is theory. I think this is I've seen. Also, I'm a bit sad because Chess24 got bought by Chesscom, and then it was cancelled. So like I had watched a lot of videos on Chess24, because some of my favorite streamers like Gustafsson, Svidlov, Fresinet, and other players, they were there. So I had like I've watched and like memorized Gustafsson's course against the Nimsu Indian with this Queen C2. I probably talked about that. I used that course to defeat Jan Timman 5 years ago, but now all the Chess24 videos are gone. They're gone forever, because I thought like the Chess24 site is just cancelled. It's just shut down, so all that stuff is gone. So, but a little bit shout out to Gustafsson and Svidlov, Fresinet, and the Chess24 site here. So I think this is part of. I think I remember this. It looks pretty bad. This looks bad for white, but it's actually fine because computer says this. This is kind of fine. It looks very bad, like this pawn looks very bad, but he gets, when black does d6, he breaks with this one, and he gets active piece play here. So he has fine, at least to a draw. It's not more than a draw, but at least it's kind of forced draw here if white knows the theory. And player like Gustafsson from the Chicken Chess Club, they want concrete forced draws out of the opening, of course. But here Gukesh plays an interesting line, computer top line, so he has analyzed with the computers. This knight h7, it wasn't discovered back when I studied this opening, because definitely a new computer move. The computers were not so good like 5-10 years ago, so they could realize a strange move like knight h7 was good. So it shows that Gukesh prepares with newest computers. So white does anyway do that, and he placed around the knight. Of course, rook here, and maybe something like that would be some kind of options, alternatives, but he decides to play around this way instead, which is probably better because it's safer to go to d6 this way, because on knight d4 maybe black could do a6. So looks like both players are playing good here, maybe still theory for them, I don't know. And h4 makes a lot of sense, preventing this one to trade pieces. Looks like e5 is hanging. Isn't e5 hanging? Maybe sometimes white can sack that one. Now it's not hanging because take here, bishop here, and a rook is hanging, so it's not hanging. So he took there instead, and he decided to take with the queen. That looks good. Yeah, so the position looks equal. Of course, if white cannot create anything in the endgame, these guys are gonna be weak. It's probably gonna be a lost endgame for white, but white has so many pieces left, so should be fine. So that's a pretty strange move. Black wants, computer thinks g5 is playable. That looks really wrong, but I would never thought about that, but and probably Gukesh didn't do either. Yeah, problem is this knight is hard to get out because this one is here, but I think it was Bent Larsen who said it, you can never get mated with a knight on f8, so even if white would do something like this, it's the knight is already covering that attack. One good thing here is it defends d7, so okay, so now it's also interesting, and it's the correct computer move. Like if I were black, I would never ever like exchange my opponent's weak isolated pawn. Instead I would try maybe bishop here and try to double and try to win this pawn, but yeah, white can always defend. Bishop f1 of course. So he does the correct thing, he trades it off. Yeah, and as I said, the knight defends here now. So both the computer likes, it looks like they played super strong here. Maybe, I don't know how far it was theory, but you can see here both play perfectly until move 30 here. The computer thinks that they're playing very good. So it's a good game, both from Abasov. So it's definitely showed that Abasov can play good chess even if he did badly in this tournament. So here he's going to try to attack here with the rook. Computer doesn't like that so much, because black is going for the endgame and then the rook has to go back. No future on f3. So black has won a pawn and is better. White's position is quite sad. It was better to play like that. Yeah, but because black took, so it was same. So what black should have done is he should have checked. Apparently. Okay, it's small nuances. I don't really understand why. So he decided to do that. What about this then? Yeah, it doesn't work. You can take here then. Okay, so black decides to defend here. That makes a lot of sense because it was threatened. But he gives up the activity, so the positions should be relatively equal now, even if black has one more pawn, because bishop pair is worth something here. Okay, but here he makes a mistake. Correct was to take, and here trying to win back here. I see. So if he does that one, he can take here, and then so he doesn't lose the bishop. I see. Because taking here and letting the black pawn advance would be dangerous, but rook a2 is good. So let's see how that is. So okay, now he can take for some reason. Okay, now black pawn can advance anyway. This looks kind of better for black, but apparently it's still a draw. Yeah, okay, so white is in time apparently to go here and take the pawn. I see. Okay, so but white could have done that and draw, but maybe, yeah, he did something else. He might not have realized the danger here. Maybe he thought it was safe, but computer starts to be very worried for whites here. Letting the black rook getting into c3 was not correct. Why didn't he like? Okay, so the problem is this. Now it's threatening check here. Yeah, now it's winning for black now. It's usually one pawn is no problem, but when you lose the second pawn, the game is kind of over here. So too late to save it. Okay, that's a nice tactic. He can't take it because fork. Okay, so the computer always wants to take here and win another pawn. The opposite colored bishops are famously drawish, but yeah, apparently this is easy win for black, that opposite colored bishop endgame. But it's win anyway, of course. Just needing some moving around here. Okay, and I managed to win a pawn. Or no, it was a trading of a pawn, but this pawn cannot be stopped. It cannot be stopped. So nice game here. Yeah, not very interesting maybe, but I just wanted to tell that story about Abasov and then chess24 and this opening here. So see you. We have 2 more games here, so let's look at the round here. Says he's winning against Abasov, so it needs to be this round 12. Have to be round 12. Abasov lost then, yeah. So this is round 12. And after this win, both Gukesh catched Nepomniachtchi, and Hikaru and Fabi also won against Vidit and Firusha. So there is four players here who could be in the run, and 3 on the first place. So the last 2 rounds will be decisive. And in those 2 games, Gukesh play Firusha and then a final game against Nakamura.